Hey Soul family, welcome back to the channel. This is the White Feather Tarot, and in today's reading we're taking a look at what will happen with the situation that you have in mind. And to do this reading, I will be, as always, pulling out 3 cards from the deck that we have for today's reading. If you prefer to pick your piles using your zodiac signs, by the way, this is an option, and you will find a timestamp for that down in the description box. If you even prefer for Spirit to pick your pile, this is also an available option, and you will find a timestamp for that as well down in the description box. Otherwise, let's take a look at our cards and see what we have for today's reading. For pile number 1, you've got the Four of Wands. For pile number 2, you've got the Judgment card. And for pile number 3, you've got the Page of Swords. Right, if you prefer to pick your piles using your crystals, then let me add these right now. There we go. So for pile number 1, you've got the red Jasper point. For pile number 2, you've got the Labradorite. And for pile number 3, you've got the Snowflake Obsidian. So take a look at which one of these 3 piles you're the most drawn to, and this will be the pile for you here today. In case you feel drawn to more than one pile, maybe even all of the piles, trust your intuition. It's meant to take you to the reading that you're meant to hear in today's reading. And once you're ready, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box. I also wanted to explain something. Let's say you have several things in your mind that you don't know what's going to happen when it comes to these particular situations. You can assign a different situation to a different pile. Let's say you have 3 things going on in your mind. You can go, I will listen to pile number 1 for that situation, for this situation. I'll listen to pile number 2 for this second situation, and I will listen to pile number 3 for this third situation. And even when the time passes, you see that reading again, and you have another totally different situation, you can look at the piles and go, fine, I will assign this or this or this pile for this particular situation. You could have just one situation in your mind, but you're drawn to 2. Listen to them. They're going to give you this full perspective together, expand your reading, show you more about the situation that you are inquiring about. So there's no one size fits all. I'm just expanding your mind at how you can look at your pile. At the end of the day, what you want to do is the right way to go. And once you're ready, as I mentioned, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box. Click on your times, which will take you straight to your reading. And please note that in a moment, I will be assigning different zodiac signs to each pile. If this is something that you're interested in, please stick around. If not, please pause the video and take as much time as you need. But if you prefer to pick your piles using your zodiac signs, then my dear soul family, welcome. This part of the introduction has been created specifically for you so that you can do just that. And as you can see, what I do is shuffle the zodiac signs really well. And then I'll be drawing out 4 signs for each pile, since we have 3 piles. Okay, let's get straight into it. For pile number 1, do I have 4? Yes, good. These are the signs. For pile number 2, these are the signs. And for pile number 3, these are the assigned signs. Right. let's check out what we have. For pile number 1, the signs are Leo, Capricorn, Gemini, as well as Virgo. And the signs for pile number 2 are Libra, Pisces, Scorpio, as well as Taurus. For pile number 3, the signs are Cancer, Aries, Sagittarius, as well as Aquarius. So, my dear soul family, these are the zodiac signs and their association to each of the piles in today's reading. Please feel free to pick your pile or piles using your sun, moon, or rising. I highly recommend you check out the 3. Alternatively, if you prefer to pick your pile or piles using any other placements in your chart, please feel free to do that. These are just different suggestions. And once you're ready, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box, which will take you straight to your readings. And please note that the next section, Spirit picks your pile for you. If this is something that you're interested in trying out, or maybe you want for Spirit to specifically pick your pile in today's reading, then stick around. If not, please pause the video and take as much time as you need. If you prefer for Spirit to pick your pile, welcome. This section has been created specifically for you. And as you know, the way I do this section is that I assign a different tarot card to each pile. So the Magician presents pile number 1, the High Priestess pile number 2, and the Empress pile number 3. And what I like to do is shuffle them around, and I would usually miss taking a card or passing around another card. And in this way, there we go, I know it is your chosen pile. Okay, so my dear soul family, your chosen pile for today's reading is pile number 2. Okay, so these were the different ways in which you can pick your pile in today's reading. I truly hope that you've enjoyed them and that they brought you the clarity that you need to find your pile. And once you're ready, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box. Click on your timestamps and I will see you in your readings. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. Today, we're taking a look at what will happen with the situation that you have in mind. Please note that if you have different situations in mind, you can assign a different pile to these different situations. And that's a good way to make use of today's reading. These are the decks that I'll be using. If you're interested in knowing the names of any of them, you'll find that I always list them below for you guys. But very quickly, let me introduce your pile to you. Your crystal is the beautiful red Jasper point. Oh, we've got a card here already. Your significator card is the Four of Wands. And if you've picked your pile using your zodiac signs, then in that case, the signs for this pile are Leo, Capricorn, Gemini, as well as Virgo. Welcome to your reading. If these are not your signs, please don't worry about it. It's just another way for others to pick their piles as well. Okay, so let's see what we have. We've got the story of the Golden Island, and the keywords here are impermanence, transient blessings, as well as genuine. Interesting. Okay, can I place a card here? I guess I can if I move the cards upwards. Yeah, I can place it like that, no problem. You've got Venus in Cancer with birth. Okay. And you've got court the subconscious. Lovely. Right, let's take a look at your tarot cards. So the first card is the King of Wands, the Empress, the Ace of Wands, the Page of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, right? Two new pages, and an Ace. There's like a powerful new beginning, or maybe this is like veering off course or something. Let's see. Yeah, we don't have more space. We're meant to stop here for now. So what am I seeing? Look, there's a birth here. There's something new happening in this situation. I have this feeling with the Empress. Again, Empress is the creation of something new, pregnancy, sun, moon, and there's like, it's almost like a situation or two in your life is leading to a totally third one. It's kind of the energy that I'm picking up here. It matches a lot the idea of your significator card, but let's read the story of this. Then we have a full picture to understand what's happening with the situation that you have in mind right now. So it says the Golden Island. The Golden Island is a story from the Golden Island is a story from Brunei, and the short description of the story is that the Golden Island roamed the seas, seeking worthy communities to bless. Yet, when those it granted boons forgot their kindness and became consumed with greed, it vanished, leaving them to decline. This card signifies potential blessings, contingent on your treatment of others. Beware vanity and greed, for the island's favor is fleeting. When kindness fades and greed prevails, the blessings that may come your way may vanish. This is a stark reminder that abundance only thrives in the soil of benevolence. This card prompts mindfulness in the actions as each choice shapes your destiny. Embrace its gifts humbly, and you'll sail life's sea with radiant blessings by your side. Understanding that the Golden Island rewards those who nurture kindness in their hearts. Very, very interesting. Yeah, it's a great reminder that while it may look to all of us internationally around the world that taking something, snatching something right now may look to all of us like sometimes injustice prevails, or it is the people who snatch get to have the most, like all these multinational companies not putting other people, some, not all, not putting other people's benefits into consideration, and this and that. It may look like they're the ones winning, but ultimately it is, you get the benefits now and not in the long term. Yeah, and it is doing the right thing, staying in balance towards yourself and towards others. It is the thing that let's say wins in the long haul and keeps and gets to enjoy it the most. Okay, otherwise you'll be just like the emperors over time, fighting just to keep that power and going through, like they keep it with struggles, constant struggles, constant struggles. In any case, we're veering off course. I digress. I see the number 4 being very stark in your reading, very prominent. And it is perhaps talking about the long haul stability. So we'll keep this card into consideration and we'll come back to it It's talking about the blessings that the Empress is showing here. So when it comes to this thing in your mind, I have a surprise for you. It doesn't look like you will be either pursuing what you're pursuing for long, you won't be dealing with what you're trying to deal with for long, whatever this is. I do see you veering into a completely new direction. And not just because of the aces and the pages in your cards, but because of your significator card, the Four of Wands, which here is the wedding of Cadmus and Harmonia. And to get to this point, this amazing wedding, which by the way was the first wedding that happened on Earth for the like of gods getting married, all the gods were invited. It was like a huge celebration with many gifts and so on. To get to this point, Cadmus started out with trying to figure out one thing, only to completely veer off his course and try to and finding himself constantly achieving other things. And the way this happened, it all started when his sister Europa was abducted, and they couldn't find her. Was abducted by Zeus, by the way, who tricked her, and he abducted her. So Cadmus's father asked him to go and look for his sister, who was the king of Phoenicia. And so he went on this quest trying to find his sister Europa, and only to find the Oracle of Delphi, who told him what happened, that she was abducted, and told him that it was a losing case, not to worry, not to like pursue that, and to pursue something else. And just like to put a pin on this, I just want to say that Europa was okay. Zeus treated Europa well. He made her the queen of Crete. He constantly and adamantly showered her with gifts. So that to the side, back to Cadmus. She told him to pursue something else. She told him to follow a cow with a crescent moon on her flank, and to continue to follow that cow until that cow rests in a particular place. When she does lie down, that is the place that he is meant to build a city in. So he did that, and the cow eventually settled down in a place called, can't remember, Boeotia, I believe, in Greece, Boeotia. In any case, in this place was an amazing freshwater spring that could serve the whole area. But the thing is that this water spring was protected by a vicious water serpent who was placed there and sacred to Eris. So Cadmus swiftly slew that snake. And so Athena appears to Cadmus and she says, what you want to do now, she advised him to take all of the snake's teeth and sew it on the ground. So he followed that advice, and from these teeth sprung an army of fierce warriors. So Cadmus, right away, without thinking, took a stone, shot at this army of fierce warriors, and being confused, they fought against each other until only 5 of them survived. These were the strongest, these were the ones that remained. And so he used these 5 warriors to build the city as advised. That is the oldest, one of like the oldest or one of the oldest cities in Europe, and most important in Greece, called Thebes. And so you can see, I'm just pausing because I'm trying to show you here what I'm trying to say. You can see that there is this strong idea with the Ace of Wands, the Page of Pentacles. There's the building here. Do you see someone has a vision of something and they're building it, they're creating it. Page of Wands, they are going on what looks like it's opposite to where they feel like they should go. People want to go down, but this person is going uphill. This Page of Wands is going uphill. Perhaps it is counterintuitive is the word I'm looking for. Counterintuitive. It requires power, but boy, is this going to lead to something amazing. So basically, what I am seeing is that you are veering off course from whatever it is you're inquiring about or you have in mind. You're gonna take a completely different direction, whether this is through guidance, just like the Delphi of the Oracle of Delphi. I mean, maybe it's through spiritual guidance. Maybe you'll meet someone on your path, an expert who will tell you, hey, the path that you're on is not the right one. This is better. Whether it's a friend guiding you, or maybe you just intuitively feel like you should totally take a different direction. But I definitely see that you will be taking on a totally new direction. I am starting to see that this direction is leading to two major blessings, because it doesn't end there with Cadmus, by the way. Now that he's built Thebes, something else happens. Now Ares is very upset about his sacred serpent being slayed. So to make up for that, Cadmus had to serve Ares for 8 years, and he did it adamantly. He did it with great devotion, and so he was rewarded after these 8 years to marry his daughter Harmonia, who was, by the way, very beautiful. She was the daughter of Aphrodite, right? So Aphrodite. We don't say Aphrodite. In any case, I'm just saying that it's going to lead to two major blessings in your life. Will one of them be something that you also work hard towards, just as you are here? Yes. But in both cases, I am observing that Cadmus always knew what to do, always got guidance, did it beautifully, did amazing things. I mean, Harmonia loved Cadmus, so loyal to him, to the point that when he died, she asked the gods that she would pass away too, and they're both serpents now, forever guarding their tombs. They're always together. So all I'm trying to say is that these are going to be two huge blessings in your life. This veering, of course, that is happening. And so you might be so consumed and concerned about how something is going to resolve in your life or happen in your life, when really that's not going to be the story at all. I see you totally veering off course in a massive new beginning. This massive new beginning is leading with the 2 pages to two major things. One of them you're going to have a vision of and build it in the way that you like. The other one might require some effort from you, but boy, is it going to give you with the wands something that you will love, because the wands are both work and passion. So you're going to be devoted to something. You're going to put work into it, but it's really going to give you something that you will be so passionate about, something that you will love. So you will be up next in your energy of creation. Now, here is the thing. When it comes to you veering off course, you want to remember that you will have massive blessings. In fact, 2 massive blessings. And the kings are balanced, right? So you want to keep the power that you will constantly take and make use of and benefit from, even from the very beginning. You want to make sure that you build these 2 new beginnings with, let's say, good intentions, with putting yourself and everyone into consideration. You want to do it for yourself, for your family, but also for the greater good. So it is showing you that the golden island is approaching you. The island of great boons. Boons are like a gift that is granted by the gods, and you can wish whatever you want and it would come true. So this is massive blessings here, massive. Everything that you ever want in these two directions will come true. But having that sort of power that you will feel from day one as you veer off course, if you continue to do things with great intentions, making sure that you take care of yourself and others, this island of great blessings will always be there for you and will work out for you, because from the very beginning you will feel that power in these journeys that you're moving into, one before the other. There's one that you will be build yourself, and there is one in which you will work hard to get to. And your cards are showing you as your guidance that if you want to make sure that this particularly comes true, because it's easy to go, of course I'm going to have great intentions, but you want to remember that if we're not constantly looking at our shadow, we miss where we could potentially harm others, or where we follow our desires that could be led by our shadow. And so, to keep this island of boon that you will soon have in your favor drifting towards your path, and that's why you'll probably be veering off course and experiencing all this luck from the very beginning. Hard work, yes. Great luck, absolutely. And who knows, with the Ace of Wands, this could be hard work in both directions whenever this shall appear as well, that you will absolutely enjoy. So it's not really, let's say, it's not a negative thing if you're absolutely enjoying it, right? So you want to build the roots right, especially from its inception, because it is the roots that are built right with, let's say, these good intentions that will help you later on build, that will set the foundation for things to always go right moving forward, mostly, as long as you're paying attention. And so back to what I wanted to say here, you see, there are triggers, and it's asking you to look at your subconscious, which is the version of yourself that goes unnoticed. Could be the shadow, right? So it is saying, in order to do that and to start enjoying your new journey, to start building it in the right way, this, that, and the other, and to have this island of blessings always with you from its inception, you want to always stay connected to your subconscious mind and your triggers. There's something about, be mindful and always ask yourself, why am I triggered? Why do I feel this way? Don't let your shadow or emotions go unnoticed. If you are feeling particularly bad about something, don't move on in life like you're not feeling it. You always want to take care of you and ask yourself kindly and openly, what is it that you're feeling and why? Don't be afraid to be vulnerable with yourself, because in listening to your vulnerability, you'll actually be able to guide yourself out of it, and you'll be able to empower yourself. So this could also be symbolizing a new birth of you, as you connect with yourself in a much better way. Empress is talking about healing, is talking about nurturing, and nurturing your you. Take it by the hand, connect to it, listen to it. Perhaps it just wants to be heard. So that's the best way in which you can find this power, but at the same time, keep this energy of the island of boons constantly from the beginning to the end, forever, in your new path. So the Four of Wands shows a massive celebration that will one day happen because of not one, but two amazing things happening in your life. This is going to be like a showstopper sort of celebration. You might be just building something that not only will affect your life, but will have a massive effect on everyone. It will cause one day massive attention, by, let's say, the gods here, or let's say the most important people to you. Yeah, something like that. So you're veering off course is what we're seeing basically in your reading, where one path is leading to another. The other path will be much grander than anything else amazing that you've done, built, or had. Because you can see the pyramids here, it's the Page of Wands, right? So it's going even further, than, more upwards than that. There's something about this will be maybe even your greatest joy right there. Getting something that you never imagined, going far and beyond, and getting something that you never imagined you could have. And so this is saying, don't mind the mistakes, loosely speaking, that happen along the way, because it is that very mistake that will one day leading to having something that you care about even the most. And it is in your significator card, whatever this is. Okay, so you're veering off course. When and how is this happening, my dear pile number one? Oh my, look at this machinery. Whoa, this looks like a factory. Oh, is this like a gas station? Anyways, a gas station, but we also see them fixing a car. Or maybe it's not a gas station. I could be wrong. It could just be like a factory that builds cars. Right, so you've got the Eight of Pentacles. It looks like we've got a factory here. And there are even pentacles on the wall. So, Eight of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. Wow, you're going to love this. You're very lucky to veer off course, my dear pile number one. Because this is much more massive, at a more grander scale. There's something I constantly see about you building something. Here, and of course here, building the city. Building something massive. We got a factory here. Cadmus was building the most important city in Greece, and one of the most ancient in Europe. We're seeing someone building an amazing statue here. We see the pyramids. There's something, we see someone who's leading a massive concert, entertaining all these thousands of people. So I see something massive, massive, massive. Constantly see something massive in your reading. And why don't we give space and put this here? So Eight of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, Page of Cups. Let's take one more. The Mob. This is an extra card in this deck. How interesting. And you see there's always a highlight here, like this particular fish out of all the fish, this particular person out of all the people. There's something here particular. There's also a lot of people. A lot of people. Talk about a city, right? So this new endeavor with the Page of Cups is massive. So it looks like you are building a unique archetype, because there's a lot of building here. You building an archetype, building a system. It could be building a foundation that will multiply, sort of like growing on trees later on. And it's going to be massive. I see you working secretly before this shows up to be massive. Like first in the beginning of your path, only you will know how massive this is. Whether we're talking about business or love or a goal, just follow the energy in your cards and then try to see how it's speaking in your life. But the way I'm seeing this is that you're somehow building an archetype, or a system, or model of something, and you're working very hard, and maybe you're not seen at all in the beginning as you're building this model. But once this sets and works out, it's going to create massive effect. I see that your small story in your world is going to be involving many people later on. So you take that archetype or that model and you bring it out into the world, or it starts showing its roots. And while, do you know that trees have the exact same length and massiveness on the inside of its roots? So there's something about, you worked so hard to build something that only you can see, but it doesn't appear. Like, even in love, you could be love towards your children, for example. You could be setting so many foundations, you could be putting in a lot of efforts that don't show now, like giving safety to your children, discussing things with them, opening their minds up towards things, this, that, and teaching them discipline. You're putting in all of this effort that doesn't really show yet day to day what you're doing. But 5, 6, 7 years from now, it starts showing how amazing these things have done in your relationship with your children, their confidence, how they're able to function in a healthy way in their society, in their school, this and the other. And as the years go by, it starts showing what amazing effort and massive effort you've put in. And that's the kind of thing I'm seeing here, whatever this is in your life. First of all, in this beginning of your journey, you're figuring things out, you're creating this model, or you're building this idea, for example, but something that you deeply care about with the Page of Cups. You have a vision here, you can see it before it happens, and you're like, that's exactly what I want to build. And you get to it with the Eight of Pentacles. So it starts off by the blessings of you being assisted to get the resources that you need to have things work out in your favor. In every step, you'll have things working out, and this is going to turn into something massive soon. A city, a factory, a great statue, I don't know, something big. It's going to be brilliant. And so, Ten of Pentacles, it shows that at when it actually shows up in the world on the outside, it brings you massive results. So if this is your business, for example, with the Ten of Pentacles, this is massive wealth. If this is like your children, then massive results where everybody's going, whoa, look at this parent who basically doesn't have to put in effort at all. Look at how their children is well behaved and they do this and they do that. The system has been set. So I can go on and on with examples, but I think you're understanding what I'm trying to say. And this will cause great, let's say, I'm hearing the word in my mind, rivalry. So maybe the mob here is rivalry, but upset is what I'm trying to say. There is mass hysteria of people upset with how amazing you made something to be. So I don't know. Depends really where this is. I think these are people like maybe they didn't care when it was a small scale, and they're like, it's not going to work out for pile number one, or yeah, whatever. But you get people that are massively upset. These could be due to massive brainwashing, massive triggering, perhaps. Now a lot of, you've proven a concept, maybe you've proven that something works, making other people now appear as anything like lazy, not doing their job, not good enough, whatever. Like, not everyone, of course, at all thinks like that, but if anyone would be thinking like that, then it would be the people who would be very upset. So that's another reason why others could be upset. What other reasons? Uh, Maybe they are upset because they had something working for them that can't work anymore when you have yours working, and that could be very valid to why they're upset. So it could be for a very good reason where you have to be careful here, and it could be because they don't want to progress, because you to progress because of their own shadow, and in that case it's for them to deal with it. So have your eyes open. Are you really upsetting people because you're not being fair here? Remember, the island will drift away. The mob, most likely, but it doesn't have to be at all. It is coming from a place of shadow, but again, it really doesn't have to be. You must look honestly at the situation in that time when people are massively angry at this amazing thing that you built. Have you been building it in a way that's unfair to others? That's the question. Or is this your absolute right? You didn't come like near the rights of anyone, you were considerate. Then in that case, really, you can't um, punish yourself for doing something so good for yourself and others, right? So yeah, that's there definitely. It's like, what is this person doing? No. So there's something about that. But remember, it is falling under the second blessing, right? And we know from your story up next that in your endeavor of building something, just like Cadmus, he had to what is it? He had to slay the snake, right? So maybe this is actually saying you didn't particularly do anything wrong, but you may have caused harms to something valuable for others, and you won't be able to notice that and get into the second part of your journey and the blessing of your journey if you're not in touch with your subconscious mind and the triggers. Maybe you're in the right? Maybe you're in the right. But you also want to consult, let's say, your spiritual heart. And maybe you want to think, right, maybe I didn't directly do anything at all wrong for these people, but maybe I want to listen to them. Maybe I want to make it easier for them. Sometimes it's not your job, but sometimes you just want to have a common sense. There's something that they taught us in driving school a long, long time ago. They told us that although it's very important to follow the rules, and although an accident may happen and it's not your fault, but always follow common sense. If you see someone about to do something wrong and it's going to lead to an accident because you're following the rules, yes, of course, follow the rules, but be discerning. I mean, you can prevent an accident from happening given that you consider the situation well. And sometimes you just gotta say, yes, it is my way to continue to follow this path, but obviously this person is not thinking in their right minds, and I just will let go my right for these few seconds so that we don't all get into trouble. So all I'm trying to say here is that it looks with the mob here that we actually, now thinking about it, has both energies, where yes, you may not be in the wrong entirely in whatever is happening here with many people getting upset. Yes, but it is also okay to consider what you can do about it. It doesn't mean that you have to do it, just like you don't have to stop it's your way, but it's the most common sense thing to do for your own good and for other people's good, is what I'm seeing here. And if you do that, the island will continue to be here, and island as an energy, and it will again reward you with not just one of your biggest blessings, but perhaps your most amazing blessing that will continue to be there for you. Because Harmonia, not only was she beautiful, but she was gifted by the gods of two serpent coiled snakes, and this necklace would give her everlasting youth and beauty. And so you can see here that not only are you going to have something that you're truly wishing for, but it's always going to be there. So always going to be there, and it's always going to be loyal to you. So yeah, it's basically saying, yes, it's not your fault. And now you're listening to something you don't even know what it is yet. But guidance is always important, because you will always know then. You will always remember, that's what I heard in my reading or in my dream was talking about. It always works out like that. And you're going to go, yes, I remember this moment. And yes, I shouldn't. If you let your triggers um, go unnoticed, you might get into the state of stubbornness. Well, that's not my fault. That's not my business. And perhaps your empathy would be turned off for that particular situation. And again, while you here with the mob look like it's not your fault, but if you are balanced and you're always looking at your internal world saying, hey, why are we so upset about this situation? And yourself would be saying, we're so upset because it's not our fault. And you could say, yes, this is correct. It is not our fault. But it's okay. Although it really isn't our fault, I see you really upset. Why are you that triggered? Is what I'm trying to understand about myself. Why are we that triggered? And perhaps your inner self would saying, well, remember when we were a little child and our brother constantly took our toy from us every day and our parents didn't do anything about that? Well, I'm angry. Now you know what's triggering all this. And you can say, yes, you are right. I'm sorry this happened to us. I got you. And some things in life happen that are unfair. Not everything is within our control, and we have a choice how to respond to this unfairness, because from that place we are stronger. So this conversation that you have with yourself, and we go, yes, some things are not fair, maybe these people are not um, functioning from a place of justice or truth. Maybe it's not fair. But when you calm your emotions down, you're able to go, right, well, it's none of our business. But now you're able to get in touch with your empathy and go, well, this person feels like this and this person probably feels like that. That does not mean that I should allow my boundaries to fall, but maybe I can help, like in a way that's safe for me and for them. How can I help these people? How can I really feel for them and help them now that I'm in a place of power? And that's a healthy conversation of noticing your triggers, noticing yourself, connecting with yourself, being kind with yourself, empowering yourself. And from that place, you'll have the power to help others, even. And this will lead you to the biggest gift of your life. And so you want to think about it, short term or long term. Short term, you might feel with transient blessings here, might feel good in the moment, like I got the power, none of my business. That's your problem to deal with. Or do you want to have enjoy the long term, the real energy? Remember when we were talking about short term versus long term? Short term creates chaos. It creates entropy of energy, and it leaves you in constant chaos trying to continue to grab onto something. Long term creates that energy for you, and it naturally stays because it matches your energy. You're not fighting trying to keep it. It's just naturally is. It's there with you. It chooses, let's say, to be there for you. So let things take time and don't feel good in the moment. Empower yourself to feel good in the moment, but thinking long term to enjoy something better in a more stable way. So yeah, you constantly have something about you being blessed but many angry. So you want to, in the weirdest way, consider them. And that begins by you considering yourself. How you feel towards you will reflect on the outside. And if you take care of you, the outside will be taken care of and you'll be led. And it might require a lot of effort going counterintuitive. It's like it's not my fault, but I gotta like work. But here, Cadmus, in their second endeavor, served Eris with great devotion. And so you want us, although it's not your fault, you can set your boundaries and work with great devotion, and you'll be really thanked and appreciated for it, is what I'm seeing in your cards. So much so that a massive gift will result from it. And that is, my dear pile number one, exactly what I see in your reading. I wish you the best of luck with this particular situation that you have in mind. My heart goes out to you, but you're going on a very interesting journey. And yeah, that's what I see. If you've enjoyed your reading, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And my dear pile number one, I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number two. Welcome to your reading. Today, we're taking a look at what will happen with the situation that you have in mind. You can, by the way, assign a different pile to a situation that you have in mind and see what shows up for that different particular situation. Yeah, this is the intention of today's reading, and these are the decks that I'll be using. If you're, of course, interested in knowing the names of any of them, you'll find, oh, thanks. You'll find that I always, should I take these just, well, I'm just gonna do that. You'll find that I always list them below for you guys. But very quickly, let me introduce your pile to you. Your crystal is the beautiful Labradorite. Your significator card is the Judgment card. And if you've picked your pile using your zodiac signs, then in that case, the signs for this pile are Libra, Pisces, Scorpio, as well as Taurus. Welcome to your reading. If these are not your signs, please don't worry about it. It's just another way for others to pick their piles as well. Okay, so let's check out your oracle cards first. You've got the Sun in Scorpio with endurance. Okay. Okay. You've got have tea with the birds. So nice. Have tea with the birds. You've got the rock on the road with the keywords honesty, honor, as well as integrity. You've got, wow, the sun in Leo with fortune. This is looking amazing. You've got moon in Gemini with adaptability. You've got Saturn in Scorpio with inheritance. Wow. Okay. And finally, you've got, I'm sorry, I just paused because Demeter is very much associated to the mysteries of Eleusinian that we see in the Judgment card. So there's something about going to the underworld and coming out. We'll find out in a moment. So you've got Mercury and Capricorn with organization. All right. And you've got, let's complete your picture through your tarot cards, the Seven of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords. Looks like there was a sacrifice here, the sacrificial lamb. Right? You had to sacrifice something. You've got the King of Pentacles. Wow, and you've got the Ace of Wands, which reminds me of the mystery of the Orphic, right? The Orphic egg. And again, this is a part of the mysteries in this card. So that's very interesting. The mysteries here are the Eleusinians, the Eleusinian, which is about Demeter and her daughter Persephone. Also the mysteries of Dionysian, and as well as the mysteries of the Orphic. So I would say, looking at your reading, that there's something about you going in what we call through hell and back, literally here. But I have great news. I'll read this card to you, but this is a very interesting story about a rock on the path that most people would just pass by, ignore, try to maneuver around it so that they can move on in their path. No one thought about adjusting it except this farmer that once passed through this road and thought to himself, oh, this is blocking everybody's path. They took the time for everybody's sake, even though they passed by it, to remove it out of the road. And because they did, they uncovered a treasure, a great treasure, great wealth that they got to enjoy. And it was designed this way for the person who would actually care, by a king, to receive this wealth. And you can see the same with inheritance. It's like going through pain, but receiving great wealth. Now, I do not wish anyone to go through that. But that's the idea of the reading. You going through something so painful here, you're inquiring about a situation where you're genuinely suffering. But all I can tell you is that with the Judgment card, you're genuinely rising above this, because what's in common about these three mysteries is the journey to and the return from the underworld. Many things change when you return, but that's how it's supposed to be. Through that change, you get very valuable things that you would have never thought to have or value, or have had the opportunity to have, had you not gone through this path. So you can genuinely see a massive new beginning for you with the Ace of Wands, powerful new beginning, where out of through after great patience and really suffering through it and feeling like you were greatly sacrificed, it is a path where you will see up next how fortunate you were to have gone through all of this, because you are rising from it after a great after rising. What I wanted to say something here, I thought about Kali and I lost the message. Hold on. You are rising with it, with something absolutely fortunate that you never thought you could have. Even Demeter here signifies abundance because she is the goddess of harvest, right? So I would say, looking at your reading, is that you had to, let's say, kill some demons. So you've gone through the underworld. Here, it reminds me of how Kali once lost her balance and was jumping up and down after killing many, many, many demons to save the world. And so Shiva laid down so that when she would step on him, he would ground her. So there's something about where this is where you are now. You've gone through a lot and you're regaining your balance. And it does look like this is the time, as things settle after this great journey that you've gone through. It looks like you will uncover great treasure and great fortune. And we'll take a look at what this great treasure and great fortune is. But I can see with the Ace of Wands and the King of Pentacles that there's a great fortunate new beginning for you. I see that you are finding your power right now as you're watching this reading. You may be like trying to find your way out, but you're really finding your power right now. And very shortly after you calm down, or maybe you just captured something, or you're about to capture something, you're about to take control of something, and it could really be yourself and not really anyone else. You can see that there is massive fortune because of that. It's almost like you are now rising out of all of this, with the Judgment card being your significator card. So, what is half tea with the birds? What is half tea with the birds? That is a very good question. Maybe the guidebook can give us a small peek. I'm very interested to know, what did the artist mean here? This moment calls for imagination. Think of your imagination as a bird with an important letter for you, invited in for tea and cupcakes. Don't waste time arguing for your limitations. Instead, ask, what is the best that could possibly happen? You've been trained to anticipate failure. Your mind will continually return to find what's wrong or lacking in any given situation. Only you can tell it to pipe down so you can hear the sweet chirping encouragement of imagination. I love how that was written. Even though it can feel risky and even counterintuitive to indulge in possibilities, we wouldn't have remarkable breakthroughs like airplane travel and penicillin without asking what if and why not. Invite imagination to keep you company as you consider what might happen if you turned your magic all the way on. So there's an aspect of you getting guidance in this reading as well. We are looking at what's about to happen here. You've waited for so long, but there is an element that you're meant to hear about the path ahead. And so it's almost like you're ready to rise, the universe is ready, everything awaits you, but you must make that final move. And the final move is a question. Have tea with the birds. The imagination. The question is, why not? What if? What if? Why not? Something like that here. And it will be the major blocking rock in your path. Just asking why not. No, first, what if? And if it makes sense in your mind, but you're having trouble believing it, then you want to ask why not? Because with the mysteries here, the teaching, the esoteric teaching, is very much tied to going back to the inner child, the divine child. And I don't want to veer off course, but very quickly, just to connect to what I'm seeing here, we are born with this divine energy. And we grow through, let's call it the underworld. We grow, and our shadow is the one that grows to try to, and it's very important, the shadow, trying to understand the outer world, learn from the outer world, and so on. And there goes the divine child, which is you, the all-loving being, the universe, the you, the source. And if you're not connecting with your inner child, specifically the division that happened as you were getting born and growing, the split in the self that keeps happening to adapt to the world and to understand and connect to the world and so on. By never connecting to the inner child and ignoring listening to them, whether it's talking about emotions, how it feels, the safety it needs, the imagination is trying to show you, you're not integrating with it to find your real power and to transcend this world altogether, to rise. And so metaphoric, let's first finish this part. And so we're always guided that if we're not constantly talking to the inner child, listening to them, making them feel better, encouraging them, loving them, listening to the worries that they have and guiding them through it, part is divine and part knows how to maneuver in this world well, this division, and they need to come together. So in you taking care of your inner child, speaking to them, encouraging them, putting so much attention to them, you're connected to that divine energy that you have, and this is how you rise. So what I'm seeing here is that you want to connect to the part of yourself that's the strongest part of yourself that is still chirping there, going, what if? What if we can do that? What if we follow this idea? Something is chirping within you, and you're guided to entertain it, to listen to it, because that is you connecting with your divine power. And very soon, because you've gone through a lot, you're nearly there. That's the grounding process here. I see you massively rising from this whole situation that you are inquiring about. Not only that, I do see that there is divine treasure, abundance because of this rise that you get to have right away. And it begins with you listening to these chirps. What if? These are the ravens here, is your intuition. You're very focused on how you were sacrificed and the pains and the stress, and rightfully so. But now you're guided to divert your attention, to find your power. The moment you decide you want your power back, to listen to that voice that's chirping within you, that positive voice, the fun and the zest for life that we lose as we go through the difficulties in life and we go through the world, metaphorically to the underworld and back. There is still divine energy in you, waking you up, saying, hey, we can do that. What if we can do that? What if it works out? And you want to be very patient with this divine voice, because it's definitely guiding you through something. If you try, you give your first trial, it doesn't work this way, don't shut that voice. Try a second, third, a different way. And eventually, by continuing to hold on, you will reach that treasure that your inner child, divine child, is trying to point at. Hold on, let me adjust something here. Oh, okay, that was close. So you're nearly there, you just don't know. And it's your grounding phase. By listening to that voice, it looks to me like right away you're out of this and you uncover the treasure. So let's see how this is, because like I told you, it looks to me like everything is waiting for you. Everything is ready. It's waiting for you to ask that question. And step into it, and that's it. So let's see how that is going to work here, my dear pile number 2. Right, so you've got the 4 of Pentacles, the 3 of Pentacles. Interesting. The 10 of Wands, and finally I want to pull out this card. You've got the 2 of Wands. Well, it's very clear here. It says there's a shift with the 2 of Wands. That's the shift we're looking at here. The shift in your path, the shift in this situation with the 2 of Wands. With the Ace of Wands, this shift has already started, but it cannot be completed without your hand, without you making that decision, or in that case, asking the question, the what if. It looks like you are going to be using what you have with the 4 of Pentacles. You're going to be opening up your box, metaphorically speaking, see what kind of resources you have. It could be pentacles, it could be money, it could be what you have in the pantry. You're just going to look and see what you've got to entertain that what if. Do you see the hands on the cheeks? What if? You're looking at, okay, well, what can I do to follow this what if? What do I have in my pantry to entertain this? Oftentimes, it is these sporadic meals that we create through what we have in the pantry that make the most delicious meals sometimes. So there's something about that. Sometimes it's great to be limited because it is that limitation that opens up a totally new possibility in the world. I can give you like an example. It's like very, very, let's say, a silly example, but it made a big difference. When I first started this channel, um, I didn't have all of these different crystals. I had my own crystals, but I couldn't show the same crystals every single day um, for people to choose from. At least that's how I thought about it. So I thought, what am I going to do to allow people to pick their piles? And so I thought, hey, wait a minute, these cards, they're so beautiful, they're full of art. Why don't I make use of that? And because I didn't have crystals, I started showing up the cards upright, like opened instead of closed. And people loved it. People loved it so much that most channels have actually have done this, and I never really minded. I was happy to see people making use of something so nice. And so my point being that sometimes the lack of things that you feel like you have in your hands could turn out to be a revolution, of course, in your world, a great revolution to your world, to the issue, to the situation. So I see you up next entertaining a what if question. Well, everything is set up and ready for you, waiting for you to place that seed. It's like the magic is there. It always awaits for us to plant that seed, sow that seed, nurture it, and watch it happen. So it looks like the universe is waiting for you to say, what if? And I see you up next going, well, what do I have that can make this happen with the Four of Pentacles? And I see you getting to work with the Three of Pentacles. I see you getting at it, trying to figure it out, trying to figure things out, because the Three of Pentacles has someone enlightening, showing something. So I see you trying to figure it out, trying to work your way around it, trying to make it happen. And you see with the horseshoe here, you're going to be surrounded with great luck, simply because it's the time for you to do that. Will it be with the Ten of Wands heavy in the beginning? Yes, but that's the heaviness before the shift. It's like Kali jumping up and down, and although you feel heavy, you feel like maybe this is like talking about now, you feel heavy, you can't, but that is the grounding, whether you realize it or not. It's exactly like Kali finding her groundedness after that whole war. And so in that way, you can see an angel going, you're free to pass now. You've been carrying so much for so long. And as you're busy working through this, the shift is happening. The seed is growing. The plant is growing from the seed. And I see that as you work in that particular direction, you're passing by. You're moving from the underworld, the heaviness, into the light. That massive shift happens. So to guide you with this, before we continue on what will happen in this situation that you have in mind, because we have to explore, you still have a lot to explore. What's that fortune that you're going to find? What's going to happen? And all of that. I just want to help you with the guidance on the what if question. Page of Wands. Wow, Queen of Wands. Well, I think you know. And the Eight of Cups. A strong voice of desire lives within you, your inner child. You see, the divine child is giving you an idea already. You're like, wouldn't it be fun to do that? Wouldn't it be exciting to do that? maybe it could feel crazy to do that, but it also may be absolutely fun. I mean, when you imagine it, you are pulled into this world where you go, there's a beautiful world that forms every time you think about a particular thing. Wouldn't it be wonderful if I did this and it worked? Something like that. Eight of Cups, it shows you that your divine child, inner child, is leading you out of this with the Eight of Cups. What you want to do is keep your world organized these days in order to be able to pursue this massive dream that is speaking to every cell of your being, of your soul. So, what fortune is that leading to, my dear pile number 2? A powerful new beginning. It's fated to happen. It's just waiting for you to hold that sword. It's waiting for you to hold that power. It's there, you must hold it, wielding that power that's divinely there, waiting for you to take control of. And it begins by you organizing yourself. Yeah, that's where it begins. It's like, but in order to do that, I've got to do this and I got to do that. And it begins with you organizing yourself and looking at what resources or what do you have in your hands at the moment that would allow you to pursue this great dream. So we're continuing on looking at this fortune, something that is fated to be yours. 5 of Swords. It's some form of power that allows you to overcome anything that used to sacrifice you before. Owning that massive power where nobody again can, or the world or no one can beat you or sacrifice you in that way. What is this great fortune? The High Priestess. With the High Priestess holding the seed of life, this is a huge blessing that can only be understood when experienced. It cannot be broken down into simple words because it's more intricate than that. Through this, for example, if I say, you're going to find the love of your life, that might sound great, but what if you find that person where you live an amazing experience with them, where the moments where you look at each other into the eyes and understand each other in such a profound way, in that moment where you really get each other, cannot be explained into words. And so saying you will find the love of your life is massively different than understanding how profound this is going to be. And so I feel like what could be put into words, that it is a great power that will never allow you to be sacrificed or stressed or scared or feeling in that way ever again. That's over. So that's the first thing. But I feel like it's a beginning that must not be explained. It is one that must be experienced because it holds within it, just like the seed of life, so much that would be cheapened by pointing out what it could be, because it gives you more happiness, more of a spiritual experience, more than words can describe. It's an internal experience, a private one to you, that should only be lived. And you will find it to be more fulfilling, well-rounded. It gives it all. With the seed of life, it gives you everything. From achievement to love to healing to just knowing what real divine unconditional love of life and of everything is. It's true happiness. It's something that really should not be, because I'm failing here. The more I'm talking about it, it's really failing it. With the High Priestess, it is the fruit of the underground, the pomegranate. It is the fruit of the very difficult path that you have gone through. This is not in the long haul, this is in the short haul. Like very soon you're uncovering and living this fortune. But it still remains in your hand, in entertaining a thought from your divine child. And that thought is, what if? Why not? And that is, my dear pile number 2, exactly what I see in your reading. I truly hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And my dear pile number 2, I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. Today, we're taking a look at what will happen with the situation that you have in mind. Okay, this one. And by the way, you can use this reading for different things that you have in mind. Like, let's say you have another thing after the reading and you want to explore it, you can pick another pile that you're drawn to explore that. So that is the intention of today's reading. These are the decks that I'll be using as always. If you're ever interested in knowing the names of any of the decks that I use, you'll find that I always list them below for you guys. But very quickly, let me introduce your pile to you. Your crystal is the beautiful Snowflake Obsidian. Your significator card is the Knight of Swords. And if you've picked your pile using your zodiac signs, then in that case, the signs for this pile are Cancer, Aries, Sagittarius, as well as Aquarius. Welcome to your reading. If these are not your signs, please don't worry about it. It's just another way for others to pick their piles as well. Okay, so let's take a look at your oracle cards first, as we do. And let me pick up this one. You've got Moon in Aquarius with independence. Very interesting. It looks like you are gaining independence from the grasp of a bully or someone scary or a scary situation. I'll tell you why, because here we've got Alexander the Great, and he was scary. His ways of conquering many countries, that's why I've got the map here, were brutal. Like in some countries, he crucified all of the men, enslaved all of the women and children. And yeah, so much so that it became easier for him to conquer other countries. Like, for example, when he arrived to Jerusalem, they would just open their doors and welcome him and say that he's the appointed divine savior that came and to save them. They're the appointed divine savior. And when he went to Egypt, for example, ancient Egypt, they appointed him the pharaoh. So you can see here your independence from a very scary situation or a very scary person. Something like that is what I'm picking up here. Yeah, like you're untying yourself from it, because here we can also see Alexander the Great solving the knot by like breaking it, cutting it. So yeah, I really feel like in the simplest ways, when it comes to something in your mind, although it feels very scary, you will very quickly be independent from this situation. Okay, let's take a look at the rest of your cards. You've got Child of the Woods. Interesting. Now we have more perspective. So the keywords are introspection, healing, as well as peace. And your card says, grab your monster by the tail. Ooh, you really are afraid of something here. That looks like it's true. But look at the girl with that slept in the forest to move away from the people that she didn't like, that she didn't resonate with. She just left them, left her people, and she spent years in the woods. You can see the tiger harbored her. There's something about what you're afraid of. It's not going to harm you. In fact, you're protected by a higher power. And there's something about you when it comes to what will happen with the situation that you have in mind, as you can clearly see, there's something about you being absolutely free from it. And there's another aspect also of what you were afraid of, you having a grasp on it, a control over it. Do you see? Something like that. Okay, so it's like you're being free and then you're the one in control or something. If you've been wronged by a group of people, and you have walked away from them, as an example, looking at this card, then perhaps you're coming, because she came back, and by the way, she came back to her people, and they celebrated her when she was back, and she loved being back again. So this is saying that you're gonna go back, and maybe you left someone or left something because it was chaotic, it was bad, it was ruthless, only to come back and enjoy it. There is this aspect in your reading, depending on what you are inquiring about. But these are the energies that I'm seeing so far. And let's take a look at the rest. Yeah, I don't need to push it up there. You've got, whoa, Jupiter in Taurus with status. You see, there's something about you gaining your power back, also recognition for what happened and being held in high regard, something like that. Wow, Sun and Capricorn with achievement. It could also be with achievement. Maybe you're going through a difficult situation when it comes to your work, because we've got suddenly status and achievement. So maybe you're going through a very tough situation when it comes to your work. You're going to be liberated from that very soon, and you're going to have power. That power is your status, perhaps you growing in that company, you getting a great post, for example. So I'm sure it's going to be different from one person to the other. And that's why I like reading the energy, and then you would understand in your life where this is talking about. Or since in that reading you already know what this is about, then it would make you understand the message. Okay, help you, understand the message. Let's take a look at your tarot cards. Wow, you've got the Knight of Wands with intensity. I see great speed. I see things resolving quickly. I see you getting what you desire, Knight of Wands, quickly. I see things starting to move quickly. Up next in your life, you've got the Page of Swords. The only thing that can absolutely slow you down and make this debacle even more complicated is your mind. So what I'm seeing as your guidance here, focus, match the energy, because the energy right now is trying to liberate you. It could only be your things like your memory, your own fears, your own worries. That could be counterintuitive to what is already happening. So take charge of your mind in the next phase of your life, so that you don't slow down this energy. Wow, you've got the Hanged Man with new vision. Here the Hanged Man is upright. There's crawling here, and now someone's upright. We see the Philosopher's Stone through the circle, the square, and the triangle. The energy is changing. There's transmutation here. Changing, yeah, I see transmutation, changing regular metal into gold, meaning where you felt powerless, the situation is changing to your favor, giving you power. It's like it's not just resolved, it's giving you so much, just like the map. It's giving you so much. So a huge reversal with the Hanged Man in this situation, like an Uno card. Exactly, if I can say anything about this is an Uno reverse card. Uno reverse card. Yeah. What is this card sliding out? And there's a split here as well. Let's take that. So you've got the Seven of Swords with politics. The masks are off. The truths are going to be revealed. Wow, this is a big situation. Two of Wands with possibilities. Two of Wands is a shift. And we can also see through the ego, who has powerful eyes, that everybody's going to see everything. Two of Wands is the card of seeing. It's like things being revealed. Everybody's seeing. You seeing, everybody's seeing. Perhaps this is why it's talking about status here. You regaining your reputation back from something. So this could be talking about someone treating you ruthlessly, and there's a reversal here of power, of one person holding it to another. The masks are falling, everybody's seeing the truth. Everything falls. Wow, very sorry about that. Okay, well, you're doing great now. You're about to get into something amazing. Do you see? This is the creator card, the Ace of Wands. It reminds me of the source, the universe, God. There's something about divine intervention here. And this reminds me of the Akashic records. Again, the hidden being revealed, knowing what you don't usually know or see. So there's a huge revelation, divine revelation happening in your situation, freeing you completely in the easiest way. You know, where not, you think about, let me take that part out, so maybe it frees that other part out. In that way, it becomes smaller and I can figure out the next step, and so on and so forth. But with Alexander the Great, who decided to solve the debacle of this knot by just cutting it, I'm getting this idea that you're easily going to come out of this. There's something about status and being ostracized. And with the Seven of Swords, politics, like there's a political game going on in your story, it seems. Lots of masks, lots of deceit, lying, ruthlessness. Like someone here doesn't have a heart. Speaking of politics, do you know how Alexander the Great became king? By killing his own father. Well, at least it's alleged. Like there's disputes around it. And his father was unfair, himself. After a great life, having a great life, he suddenly up and left him and his mom, and he married a woman half his age and left them. So in any case, there's like drama going on here, is what I would say in this pile. Whether this is at your work and friends, family, or something else that I'm not looking at or not picking up, there's definitely drama here. There's people playing around, there's manipulation, there's lies. And this is why your mind is busy. I mean, it makes sense that your reading is saying, hey, you want to calm your mind down so that you don't interfere in the energy, because I feel for you. Obviously, you're really thinking a lot. This is like fuming. You're fuming. So there's something about, don't reverse things, because where you put your focus, right? Where you put your focus is where energy is going to go. So do note that things are massively changing right now, whether you're seeing it or not. But not before long, everybody will be seeing it. I would say the creator and Two of Wands, this is exposed. This is something being exposed. And it's taking power from the hand of one and giving it to another. Great change in a particular situation. So you're going to be commended for the efforts that you have done, thus the achievement card, and you will be held in high regards. There's healing in this situation. There's peace. There's you holding the power now. Okay, there's more. We've got 3 more cards. Wow, another ace. You've got the Ace of Swords with consciousness. There's massive spiritual energy changing. And the fact that you can't see it right now doesn't mean that there are massive things changing and that the masks are falling, there are massive changes happening, and you have no idea about it here. Like, I would say things like the powerful in this situation has already fallen, maybe not from the throne yet, but they've fallen and they know it, kind of energy with consciousness. The Ace of Swords, like, at least consciously, many people are aware of what's going on, although not officially announced or officially presented, something like that. You've got the Knight of Pentacles with slowing down, intensity and slowing down. So do you see energy is reversing now? It's not formed, but it's reversing, where in your situation it's moving quickly unless you interfere with your mind. And in their situation here, they are slowing down, although they, I would say, have a stronger mind and how conscious they use it than maybe you at the moment. That's not to blame or to compare. Look at what you had to go through, right? And how comfortable they were, maybe. Yeah, so that's not to compare. I'm just showing you that one thing can work in their favor, one thing may work against you. At the end of the day, it could like slow things down, but it doesn't change the fact that energy is changing, is what I'm trying to say. So keep a strong mind, because things, you won't be interfering in that energy. It will move as quick as it should for you, because it is very intense. It's moving really quickly. And the more you assist it by keeping a calm mind, the faster the less you're interfering with the speed. And here, things are slowing down for them, but they have an advantage of a focused mind, which might prolong things for them for as long as it could. But things are definitely slowing down here. And that's why on the outside, it doesn't really look yet that things are changing. And you've got the 10 of Wands with suppression. Not before long, this whole thing is gonna fall on, respectfully, their heads. And that's what we're seeing here. They're so boggled down by so much. They are so tied down by so much, restricted by so many things to keep carrying what they're doing. The foundation is falling apart. This is why it's showing you things are slowing down greatly for this person or this situation. The clearer mind that they have, the longer they can carry this, but there is ultimately a point where this is all going to fall. And when it falls, things change drastically. Yeah, that's what's going on in this situation there. In fact, your significator card is the Knight of Swords, which is the fastest knight in the deck. Look at the speed here. And you can see that you will be freed from this situation faster than you imagine. Also, the Knight of Swords is focused energy. It's showing you that the more you put your focus on something, the faster it moves. So keep your focus on your path ahead. Keep your focus on whatever is important in this situation. Don't look anywhere else. Don't worry. Don't stress over things. Don't question yourself, because the pages are questioners. They learn. Don't question. Just focus. Don't worry how it's going to happen. Focus on your path ahead. Focus on what is important only, and let everything else go. Okay, very interesting. Let's now take a look at how this is all going to be revealed, how this whole thing is falling at the moment. Right? How will you be freed? How is this reversing? What's about to go down exactly? Oh, thanks. Whoa. You've got the Fool card. A naive mistake is going to happen. The Fool, naivety, there's a fall. There's a beginner's mistake, a foolish mistake. That because we're asking what's about to make this fall, and look at the Fool falling. So a foolish mistake, beginner's mistake, a naive mistake is going to happen. Like it wouldn't come from an expert, or it wouldn't come from someone who's that dedicated to doing something. But there's a foolish mistake here. Queen of Swords with morality that instantly makes them stuck to what is considered the... Oh, look at this web. Look at this web. This reminds me of the saying, what a tangled web we weave when we first practice to deceive. They fall in their own... They expose themselves. They expose themselves. The truth comes out. Now they're stuck in their own web of this. It's like, but didn't you say that this was like that? How come this is happening like that? And this, and this, and this, and it's not making sense anymore. They're really stuck in their web of deceit that they've weaved themselves. That's why it's a foolish mistake. Maybe, when people lie so much, they forget what they were saying. So perhaps something like that. Caught in their own web of lies. Completion. Third eye. Seeing what everyone's not seeing. That's the third eye, right? Finally, there's the all-seeing. Everybody sees. It's the end of this. It's the end of this situation, because that one mistake reveals everything. Everyone's like, that's not right. Something like that. Like, for example, somebody catches a wrong transfer from one bank to the other. It's like, hey, it's asking the person in the job, why did this go from this bank to this bank? Now I'm like all in thriller movies mode. And there's how this person gets caught, for example. So there's a silly mistake, a foolish mistake that really entraps this person in their web of lies. Completion, that will cause the end of this whole situation, because everyone will see what was not seen. Queen of Pentacles. That leads to you, first of all, with the white aura, being seen as a pure, good person. That it instantly shows you. Perhaps it is because part of the deception was this person using you, maybe harming you or something. So now you can see, you continue to get status. You're like, oh my God, that was probably unfair to pile number 3. So you shine, you flower, you blossom. And with the Queen of Pentacles, you start living what you deserve. You start getting what you deserve, Queen of Pentacles. You start getting what you deserve. The chakras are cleared, so you're all clear, and you get what you deserve. The Lovers. Do you see? You've got many people choosing your side, many admiring you, loving you. You're getting a lot of love, it seems, through this deception. Perhaps it is appalling what they're doing. And so perhaps you grab your monster by the tail. Now they're caught in their web of lies under your mercy, because you have many people now vouching for you. rooting for you. Oh my God, my apologies. I just noticed 11. That's the Page of Swords. So, in general, the swords are keep focusing on the right thing. And with the Knight of Wands, it's going to move very quickly for you. But I have a surprise for you. Look at that 11, 11. Even this is the Oracle of 11. 11. Look, 11, 11, 11. Look at that 11, 11, 11. This is even a page. 11. Two aces. 11. I can't tell you how much this reading is the synchronicity, the strong synchronicity in the reading is showing you that this is divinely guided, you're divinely protected. This whole thing is going to change in a massive way. The angels are around you, the universe, everything is backing you up, and you are going to get your power back with regards to this situation. I am seeing that currently you are in what is maybe seen as an exile, or maybe you have taken yourself out of the situation, trying to find your peace. You're outside of it, trying to find your own world, trying to do your thing. I see you are really upset, maybe even absolutely disgusted from what's happening, or you refuse to be part of it, or something like that. Yeah, you refuse to be part of it. You are living in your own bubble, or in your own world at the moment. And in your own world, you found great power, which is amazing. And because you found your power in your inner world, it's reflecting in your outer world, and that's how it works energetically. You found it in your internal world, and it will reflect now in the outside world. Yeah. Let's ask, has this begun, or is it about to begin? Has this, because I know it looks in your reading, from the quickness in your side, the slowness in their side, and the breakage of the thread, I understand that it has already started happening, where things are not obvious on the outside, but they started happening on the inside. So has this particular mistake happened, or are things just falling because they're cracking in every other way? King of Swords. Well, there's this person who for now is still in control, or that situation is still driving and is still in control, right? Four of Pentacles. Okay, so what's happening is that they're holding most of the valuable information, but what's happening is that there's leakage there behind the fence, behind the control. So that's what's happening right now as you're watching this. Despite the massive control and how much they're holding something off, valuable information or valuable things are falling from them. And that's what's going on right now. There will come a point where this silly, foolish mistake happens. So when is this foolish mistake? Four of Wands. This foolish mistake is going to happen as they're having fun with the Four of Wands. Perhaps during a celebration, a wedding, maybe if this is a person, then they're out having fun, getting drunk, maybe while they're having fun, because they're enjoying something so much, they slip up, maybe. They get lost with the swirls here. They get lost in something fun with the Four of Wands, that this foolish mistake happens. So when is it though? What am I not picking up? Four of Wands is elevation, maybe elevation of heat. The more the temperature rises, the more you know things are changing. That's one way to read it, but we can pull out another card and see. Nine of Pentacles. It's nearly there. That's all I can tell you. It's about to fall. It's nearly ripe. It's about to happen. And all I can tell you is that it's going to happen at when they are trying to enjoy something so much. Sometimes with the Nine of Pentacles, when you feel like you've got it all, that your dreams are happening, that sometimes you slip up, you're less guarded maybe. So something like that, it happens. It's already in one way or the other loose, and there are things already leaking. But maybe this is pride of this person thinking nothing can make them fall. This is the Nine of Pentacles, not the Ten of Pentacles. So they're assuming that they're at the pinnacle of something when they're not really there. When you're at the pinnacle, then perhaps you can think, oh, nothing can happen. Although at the pinnacle is the fall. But all I'm trying to say is that this person thinks they've got everything covered. They are untouched, like everything is happening for them. Nothing can happen to them, but there's a great fall. Do you see? There's a great fall, and it could happen very soon. The cards are just saying, it's almost like, wait, child of the universe. It's about to change seasons. It's about to change. It's right about going to change. Just wait. Focus on what is important to you and leave the rest. It's absolutely divinely guided here. It's unbelievable. So yeah, leave it in the hands of the universe, of your angels, of God, whatever you believe in, because really this is uh, out of your hands. What's in your hands is your internal power. For now, yeah. And my dear pile number 3, there's great victory coming up, great freedom. I wish you the best of luck with that. And if you've enjoyed your reading, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And my dear pile number 3, I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye.